Welcome to Megamind. Brad and Monica here. A quick reminder, please give us a like, hit the bell, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and supporting us.
Today, we're diving into a really practical self-improvement discussion. We've got some fascinating material that looks at what really defines someone who's, well, built for leadership and making an impact.
Yeah, particularly in that entrepreneurial space, but honestly, these ideas apply much wider.
Definitely. And this material outlines 5 core traits, almost like 5 pillars that really set these kinds of people apart.
That's right. And what I find interesting is how it kind of pushes back against some common ideas.
Like what?
Well, it's not just another one of those anyone can be a boss type things.
Yeah.
It actually suggests pretty clearly that maybe not everyone is naturally cut out for, say, starting a business from scratch.
Okay.
And it gives you a way to sort of assess yourself against these traits.
Yeah.
So today, our goal is really to unpack these 5 pillars, see what they mean in practice, and figure out what lessons are in there for anyone who wants to lead or innovate or just, make a bigger mark in their own life.
Exactly. Whatever your path looks like.
Okay, so let's kick things off. There's this statement in our source material that's pretty bold, right from the jump. It basically says, not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And it goes on. If you don't possess at least 1 or 2 of these key traits, or maybe haven't worked to become a real expert in your field, perhaps a stable job is a better path.
Wow. Okay. So that directly challenges that whole everyone can be their own boss narrative we hear all the time.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it sounds like it's not about saying it's some kind of exclusive club, right?
Yeah.
More that maybe some people naturally lean away from independent problem solving or that, ambiguity of starting something new.
That seems to be the idea. It's about understanding your own inclinations, maybe your natural wiring.
And then deciding if you're willing to build the specific skills needed if entrepreneurship is what you want. Less judgment, more honest self-awareness.
Right. So the first step for you listening is maybe to reflect. Does this material, as the source puts it, sound like you? Or are you maybe more suited to becoming an expert within a more established structure?
And neither path is inherently better. It's just about finding the right fit.
Exactly. An honest look inward, that's always the starting point for growth, isn't it?
Always.
So let's dive into the first pillar. The material identifies one trait as absolutely critical. It even claims this one thing filters out something like 90% of potential entrepreneurs right away.
90%, that's huge. So what is it?
It's courage or boldness.
Okay, courage makes sense, but 90%. How does the source define that, or rather, the lack of it?
It paints a really clear picture. It's the person who maybe dreams of making big money, but is absolutely terrified of taking any risk.
Oh.
Or wants to approach someone, maybe a potential collaborator or client, but that fear of rejection just paralyzes them.
That feeling of being afraid of wolves ahead, tigers behind, as the saying goes.
Exactly that phrase. It shows up as overthinking every single potential difficulty, right? Making endless lists of problems.
I don't know how to do this part. Nobody ever taught me that. What if XYZ goes wrong?
Precisely. And after all that mental churn, the conclusion is always the same. Nah, it can't be done. It's like an internal shutdown.
That's a vivid description of analysis paralysis fueled by fear.
Yeah. But the source pushes back hard on that. It asks these sharp questions like, was any boss born knowing everything?
Good point. Yeah.
Is anything truly without risk?
Yeah.
I mean, even in what seems like a stable job, you face the risk of layoffs, right?
That's true. There's no such thing as zero risk anywhere. It's just different kinds of risk.
So what's the antidote then, according to this material?
It offers this really powerful idea, almost a philosophy. Precisely because we don't know anything, don't have anything, that's why we must do it.
Okay, so turn the lack into the motivation.
Exactly. And then once you commit, you have to go all in. Give it everything you've got. Don't retreat just because it gets tough.
Use the lack of resources as the very reason to act, not the excuse not to.
Right. It's a powerful reframe.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? We're often our own biggest roadblock. The source basically says, the only thing that can truly defeat you in this world is yourself.
Oof. That hits home. And it applies way beyond just business. Any big personal goal, really.
So does it give any, practical steps? How do you actually win that internal battle?
Not like a 5-step plan, no.
Yeah.
But the strong implication is that the action itself is the key. Just starting, even small, even scared, that builds momentum.
Small wins chip away at the fear.
Yeah, like that old saying, the journey of 1,000 miles. It starts with just one single step. You break the paralysis by moving.
Okay, so courage gets you moving, but
Yeah.
once you've started, what's next? The second pillar our material highlights is strong execution ability.
Right, because ideas without action, they're just thoughts floating around.
Exactly. This means you have an idea, you act now, immediately. What's the worst that happens if you fail? You learn something, right?
And this is where a lot of people falter, according to the source. So many opportunities just evaporate because of hesitation.
How so?
People get stuck seeking opinions, asking family, asking friends. And often you get a whole mix of reactions, right? Some supportive, some critical, some just confused.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got an opinion.
And the source calls this seven-tongued opposition. Faced with all that conflicting advice, the initial spark just fizzles out. The opportunity vanishes.
Because you waited too long, got talked out of it, or just lost momentum.
Exactly. It's not just about being fast. It's about the learning that comes from acting fast. Fail quickly, learn quickly, adjust quickly. That's way more valuable than endless planning.
Thinking without doing leads nowhere. The core message here is pretty stark. Your actions must keep pace with your ambitions. Only action yields results. And that's true for everything, isn't it? Starting a side hustle, getting fit, learning that language.
Definitely. No more I'll start Monday for that language app then.
Maybe not. It's about closing that gap between saying you'll do something and actually doing it. That's where the real growth happens.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got courage to start and execution to make things happen. Now, the material takes a bit of a turn towards something more outward-facing.
Yo.
Pillar number 3, a broad mindset. But specifically, it focuses on generosity.
Generosity. Okay, that feels slightly counterintuitive in a business context sometimes.
Right, but the source puts it super simply. Are you willing to share the money?
Okay, that kind of generosity makes sense.
And it connects this to some really old wisdom. There's this saying.
Let me guess. Something about wealth gathering and people scattering.
You got it. When wealth gathers, people scatter. When wealth is distributed, people gather.
Yeah, check. It's a classic. Basically, if you hoard everything, people won't stick around. If you share the success, you attract and keep good people.
It's fundamental for building loyalty, building a team that actually wants to be there and contribute.
Cool.
But the source takes it even further. It suggests that if you pay well, if you're genuinely generous, even your sworn enemies can become your closest allies.
Wow, okay. That's a powerful statement, turning adversaries into collaborators through generosity.
It frames generosity not just as being nice, but as smart strategy. It builds loyalty, motivates people, and can even reshape relationships.
That's a really interesting take on it. It's about recognizing shared interest and rewarding contribution.
Remember to subscribe. Thank you.
Okay, so that idea of managing relationships and shared interest flows nicely into the next one, doesn't it?
It does. Pillar number 4 is measured inclusiveness or tolerance. But, and this is important, there's a key nuance here. It's not just about being endlessly tolerant of everything.
Right. The source is really clear on this. It's tolerance for someone's growth process, maybe their learning curve.
But not tolerance for a continuous, ongoing lack of growth. You can't just let things slide indefinitely.
Exactly. Being friendly with your team, good. Being seen as a pushover, bad. There have to be clear standards, clear expectations.
And the source says if someone crosses a red line, action needs to be immediate and firm. You cannot be soft about core standards or damaging behavior.
Makes sense. You need both empathy and accountability.
I really like the analogy the source uses for this. It says, a company is like a rocket.
Okay. Like constantly moving upward.
Yeah. And as it ascends, what matters most isn't necessarily your initial qualifications like your degree. It's your ability to learn and keep up.
Adaptability. Keeping pace with the rocket's trajectory.
Right. Which leads to the tricky question. What about people who can't keep up?
Yeah, that's always tough, especially with early team members.
The source suggests, okay, be tolerant first. Give them a nudge, support them, see if they can catch up. If they do, great. Bring them along. The whole team benefits. But for those who maybe were there at the start, the founding members, who get complacent or just refuse to grow with the company.
What then?
The boss needs to say thank you, respectfully acknowledge their past contributions, but then act decisively. The phrase used is, cut the Gordian knot.
Wow. So make the tough call for the greater good.
Pretty much. It's framed as respect for the community of interest, everyone who has a stake in the rocket reaching its destination. The message is blunt. If you can do it, go for it. If not, step aside and let someone else.
That is a tough pill to swallow, especially in cultures that value loyalty above all. But from a pure performance perspective for the whole entity, I can see the logic.
It's definitely a challenging aspect of leadership, which brings us neatly to the fifth and final pillar. The source calls this one the most important trait.
Okay, the most important, what is it?
It's the ability to discern and utilize people effectively, basically understanding people and putting them in the right places.
Ah, the people aspect. Makes sense that it's critical.
And the source warns, pretty starkly, that without this skill, failure is basically inevitable.
So what does discerning people mean in this context? It's more than just reading resumes, right?
Oh yeah, much more. It's seeing beyond the surface, recognizing that good team members aren't just the ones who say nice things or flatter you.
The ones who disappear when things get tough.
Exactly. The source uses this vivid term, warning against accidentally nurturing white-eyed wolves.
White-eyed wolves. Okay, what's that?
It's an idiom, means ungrateful people. Individuals whose flattery might hide disloyalty, people who might ultimately undermine you or the company. Spotting that potential early is crucial.
Gotcha. So it's about judging character and potential contribution, not just charm or outward agreement.
Precisely. And if you boil it all down, the source says the boss's ultimate role is essentially being a resource integrator.
Resource integrator meaning?
Meaning your main job is to bring together all the resources and people are the most vital resource and deploy them effectively.
So placing the right person in the right role to maximize their strengths and therefore the strength of the whole team.
That's the core of it. It's presented as absolutely essential, not just nice to have, but fundamental for avoiding failure and achieving real success. Building something stronger than just the sum of its parts.
Makes perfect sense. You can have courage, execution, generosity, tolerance. But if you can't get the people part right, it's all going to struggle.
So, there we have them, the 5 pillars according to our material. Courage to act.
Strong execution ability.
A broad, generous mindset.
Measured tolerance.
And that crucial ability to discern and utilize people effectively. So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening?
Well, the material brings it back to that practical self-assessment. Instead of just vaguely wondering, am I cut out for this? Or how do I get rich?
Look at these 5 points specifically.
Exactly. And be honest, if you read through these and think, wow, none of these really sound like me, and you're not particularly motivated to develop them or become an expert in a field.
Then maybe, just maybe, the entrepreneurial path isn't the best fit right now.
Right. And the source suggests, very directly, that a stable job might actually be more suitable, more fulfilling in that case. It's about aligning your path with your genuine strengths and inclinations.
Playing to your strengths, not forcing yourself into a mold that doesn't fit, which could lead to a lot of unnecessary struggle.
Precisely.
And here's a final thought for everyone to chew on. Even if starting a business isn't on your radar at all, think about these 5 traits anyway.
Yeah, how can you apply them elsewhere?
Right. Which of these could you cultivate or strengthen in your current life? How could embodying more courage when you feel fear?
Or taking more decisive action on your personal goals.
Being more generous with your time or skills?
Practicing discerning leadership, even in small projects.
Or getting better at empowering others and recognizing their strengths? How could doing any of that impact your career, your relationships, your personal growth?
Because this wisdom, really, it's not just about business, is it?
Not at all. It's about how we approach challenges, opportunities, and people. It's about how we lead our own lives effectively. Drop your comments below and subscribe to our channel. Brad and Monica are personas we use to make our content more engaging and relatable. We're not affiliated with any organization or product mentioned. Our discussions are just for inspiration and entertainment, not professional advice. Always think for yourself, take what works for you, and make your own decisions. See you next time.